Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for mid-October 2022. I've only been doing this all day, and I almost just forgot what I was doing, but I didn't. So we're going to look at your past in this first row. We're going to look at your present. You got 3 cards here, actually, in your present in this next row. We're going to look at the in-between, and I'm going to be using the in-between tarot for this. I'll explain that in a minute. And then we're going to look at the future in this last row here. This already looks pretty good, so I like it. In your past, we're going to be using the before tarot in this row here. In the present, we're going to just be using the regular old tarot right here. And then in the in-between, we're going to be using the in-between tarot here. So this in-between tarot has 2 cards on it, basically, and it kind of represents the in-between energy of the 2 cards. And then in your last row, we're going to be using the after tarot for the future. Definitely let me know what you think of this, because I'm thinking I might do like big versions of this for the 2023 readings. So that's going to be that. But you start off here in your past position with this idealism card and this influence card. I feel like in the past, maybe that something was influenced. It's funny, you have the King and Queen of Cups with the Hangman. You know, obviously it could be like a relationship that was delayed in the past. I feel for some of you it was also like a sacrifice that was made here. And, you know, I kind of feel that this could be like a sacrifice for a dream. Something that you have been dreaming of creating in your life. It's also interesting that there's like a dolphin on the Queen of Cups. There's a dolphin going to the King of Cups. For some of you, I feel like you're waiting to hear back from something, or you're like waiting to hear from news, or it could be a person. Maybe you communicated with a person, you're waiting for communication. It's also funny that in the before tarot, you have the Hangman. In the after tarot, you have the Hangman. So it's like maybe you finally completed this process of the sacrifice, right? The sacrifice, you know, I'll just show you. You have the Queen of Cups, Hangman, and the King of Cups. The sacrifice with the Hangman is that he is sacrificing the use of his arms and his legs so that he can gain enlightenment. And he's hanging from the tree of knowledge or wisdom. And so he's, you know, again, gaining information. So it's not really a sacrifice. It's like more, he's just not making moves so that he can get more information on his situation. And I'm wondering if like the last year or so was kind of like that for you. Maybe you put yourself on pause. Maybe you put yourself in Hangman mode so that you could gain information. Again, this Queen of Cups, she has this like dolphin. I'm not sure. It almost looks like she is getting the cup from this dolphin. But, you know, I kind of feel that for some of you, maybe you put communication out into the world, or you're just waiting for communication back from some situation in your life. The Queen of Cups is about your emotions. King of Cups also about your emotions. Pretty much everyone has been getting readings lately about their emotions, so I would make sure that you're keeping your emotions like stable. I would also focus on the things that you want at this time. Again, you have the King of Cups. You can see in the background there that dolphin is kind of charging towards him right here. So I feel like there is a message coming in for you. It's kind of interesting. You know, I wasn't so sure how I felt about this at first, but kind of like going through this, I feel much better about what is going on here. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Empress. Someone finds you very attractive. Again, if you want love, this is a very good love reading. I would say, I just feel maybe you've been waiting for a person, or you've been waiting to hear from a person. But again, I mean, Empress, a lot of attraction. I also feel, and sorry, it's not focusing there for some reason, but, you know, I feel like you are very abundant at this time, or you could be creating a lot. It seems like, you know, there's a ton of creative energy in your reading. So if you're creating anything, art, a business, a new health routine, doesn't matter what you're doing, I would get to creating, because I feel you just have the energy to do it. With the Hangman, you have the Death card. Could be the ending of this Hangman mode, like I said, because, you know, I basically already said this, because you have the Hangman at the end, but it's in the after tarot. So he's like finally moving forward, or he will be on that card. So I kind of feel like you're ending this transformation, or, you know, whatever the situation is. With the King of Cups, you have the 3 of Wands waiting. Like I said, it was very clear to me that you are waiting for communication. And again, this doesn't have to be love. Some of you could be waiting for approval on something. You could be waiting for closure. You could be waiting for anything. But I feel a lot of you are kind of in this holding pattern, or have been in a holding pattern in the recent past. Next, in your current general energies, you have the Submission card. You have 3 cards here. You have this Fortune card. Love it. And you also have this publicity card. The submission card, we're going to start here because I just want to show you that it's like a bird in a cage, but the door is open. So I feel like for some of you, you could easily set yourself free from something at this time. You have the publicity card and this fortune card. Look, like the sun in publicity, clearly there's a lot of attention coming in for you. People always ask me, they always say, Chris, why do you say to everyone that it's like glow up time? You have the Empress right here. Glow up time, right? Time to get attention. People are always like, why do you say this? That it's time to get attention. I'm always like, hey, guess what? We're entering into the age of Aquarius. Everybody needs to become their own little star. That means you need to get as much attention as you possibly can on something. It could be something you're working on. It could be yourself. It could be giving attention to a relationship and getting attention on it for it to be a positive relationship, right? So it's like anything you could possibly think of to get positive attention. That's exactly what I would be doing with this energy, because I feel like it's going to lead to kind of like a lot of success for you here. Aries, Sagittarius looks really good. I almost just said Aries. You have the Eight of Wands, the Justice card, and the Four of Swords. Again, you're waiting for news. The Eight of Wands can be a quick conclusion or quick success. So I do feel there is communication or success coming in here. That Justice card, like, again, for a small percentage of you, I do feel this could be involving a legal matter where you could be getting news or information about it, and maybe it's coming to a close finally, because you have the King of Wands to the Page of Wands over here. I'll show you in a minute, but, you know, I feel like you're kind of like closing something out, or you're getting to, it's almost like you're getting to the next chapter of a situation is kind of what I feel here. The Justice card, I also feel, again, could be approval. If you're waiting for approval, like on a loan for a house or, you know, anything, I feel there could be some sort of approval. That's kind of the vibes I get here, because I do feel moving on that Eight of Wands. You also have the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles here. It's almost like you have the information needed to move forward, going down to the Hangman here in the After Tarot. So again, next you have the Four of Swords. Definitely, I feel like you've been through a period of kind of like stagnancy, but you're coming out of this. It's like you're finally moving forward. It's almost not even worth mentioning, because again, I feel like you're finally moving forward in this. Let's see. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles here. No hesitation, no back and forth is what I would say. You know the direction you want to move in. You know, and you have the, didn't you have the King of Wands? Yes, you have the King of Wands to the Page of Wands. And, you know, I kind of feel this energy for you on a very deep level. I felt it for a lot of people, but I feel it more for you, where it's like you have some ideas in life. Maybe you have a direction that you want to move in. You see how these waves back here, they kind of start small and then they get bigger as they go across the card. You know, sometimes I feel like the Two of Pentacles can represent something in our life that is just like a little bit too hard to ignore. You know, it's like something that maybe captures our attention. Maybe we get an idea to start a business, and it's like the more we think about it, the more we think about it, and then the more we think about it, the more we start to take action on it, and then we create it. And I kind of feel that for you, where maybe there's something that you've been waiting for, and it's like you've been thinking about it, and, you know, I feel like it's something that builds. With the Justice card, you have the Chariot. Definitely could be a victory coming in for you if you're dealing with anything. I almost caught it. There you go. I feel like there could be a victory coming in for you. I almost feel some of you, this could be a legal victory. For others, again, moving. It's funny that I said moving. I was kind of getting that on that Eight of Wands, that some of you could be moving or traveling. And here you go. You have the Chariot. Definitely would be a victory for you here. I kind of feel like you have a choice to make as well. The Chariot has those two Sphinxes on it, and they're both facing opposite directions. So I kind of feel like you have a choice. We might have to look into that. And with the Four of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. Some of you could be healing from a past heartbreak, especially if you were in something that was influenced by like a person's vision. I feel like I didn't even talk about this idealism card here, but I almost feel if you had a past position, a past relationship, I feel maybe like it was idealized. Maybe you imagine the idealized version of the relationship, right? Like the perfect version, and maybe that's what kind of brought it to an end in the first place. But it looks, again, like you're healing from this, so it's almost not worth mentioning. Next, you have this Power card and this Rebellion card. I feel like you have the power to rebel, to create your own life here, Sagittarius, to create the things that you truly want and desire. But I feel like you have to take control with this energy. You even have the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups, the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands to the Page of Wands here. Again, I feel this is the most important part. The King to the Page cards in this deck, they kind of represent handing down information or passing down information from one person to another. So it's like the king would teach the page, type of deal here. I feel for some of you that you're kind of like getting to the next stage of something. Again, if you're dealing with a legal matter, it could be getting to its final stage or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call it, but I kind of feel like you could be bringing something to the end here. For others, I almost feel like it's saying don't repeat this stage, but this is for those of you that have been in hangman mode. I feel like this is saying it's time to move forward here. You have the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, and again, I feel it's time to start putting work in. Like I said, it's almost like something is going to the next stage in general with that Two of Pentacles. Something is building. You're taking something from thought, Page of Pentacles, where you're like learning something new or experiencing something new. Knight of Pentacles represents being too cautious and not taking action. He needs to get moving, the Knight of Pentacles, but at the same time, I kind of feel like you are taking action. On this Knight of Pentacles, you can see that he is actually taking action. And again, you do have a lot of creative, fiery energy here, so it kind of tells me that you are making moves. You have the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups. Could be a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you. I definitely feel if you want love, this is like a new version of love. And it's funny that I feel like saying a new version of love. I feel maybe it's like a love that you haven't experienced or a certain type of love. Maybe it feels a little bit rebellious, right? So that could be interesting. Let's look into that right now and see what that even means. But let's see. With the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups, you have the Two Wands. Could be someone long distance. And again, that could be why this moving stuff is coming up. I actually do feel like some of you are already in a long distance connection. And this to me is saying that someone's moving, or that someone could be moving closer to the other person. So I do feel like there will be movement if that's you. For others, I feel like this is about leaving a comfort zone. Knight of Cups can be like a dream. Same with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups normally has like the fish in his cup and that he's looking at. I always say that could be part of his imagination. The Knight of Cups, he's like usually looking into that cup. He's kind of like scrying, imagining his future. And the Two Wands, he has a whole world in his hands. So it kind of says he could create anything that he wants, everything that he wants, but he needs to get moving. He needs to create it. With the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. You could be a little standoffish. Again, could be an Earth sign coming in for some of you. The Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior, but I feel like you're willing to try again. So if you want love, I do feel you are kind of cautiously open to it with the Nine of Wands. I would also say that the Nine of Wands is my card of experimentation. And again, with all this like Aquarius energy that we are stepping into, I feel it's super important that we experiment, try new things, and all that other good stuff. Throw stuff at the wall, see what sticks, right? With the King of Wands to the Page of Wands, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is like past disappointments. I feel some of you are like trying to manifest things. I feel everyone is in this mode right here, the Four of Cups, because I don't know. I just feel like none of us are really getting what we want, right? And that might sound mean, but that's not what it's about, right? What it's about is that I think everyone is learning how to mix things together. You can see that he has those Four Cups in front of him, and I always say that this card is really about kind of realizing that you could be trying to manifest something. Like maybe you're trying to manifest a cake. This would be you manifesting the flour, sugar, and the eggs, but you have to mix everything together to get it to work. So usually we manifest inspirations. We think, I want to start this business, make $1 billion. It's like the universe is like, okay. And then maybe you feel inspired to go to the coffee shop, as I always say. And usually people are like, what does that have to do with making $1 billion? So we judge our inspirations. We don't go to the coffee shop, but you never know. You might run into an investor at the coffee shop. You might see a flyer on the ground for, some sort of business that you're like, oh my God, I could start that business, right? So you never know. I think too many of us don't follow those inspirations because we judge them because we think they're not connected. And, that's what I would do with the Four Cups. At the end here, you have this affair card, and you also have this devotion card. Again, a lot of people have been getting this, I think, because, over the past few months, this devotion card. I think because people want something real, something that where there's like a real connection. So if you're attracting love, I feel you want something that really isn't just an affair. You want the devotion. You want someone who will be there when you're on your deathbed. This bird is dead right here. So I feel like you want the full thing, right? And that's probably what you're waiting for. That affair card isn't meant to be negative necessarily in that deck. It can represent just like a positive, connection. It doesn't have to be like an affair like we think of an affair, if that makes sense. You have the Hierophant, the High Priestess, divine couple right here with the Hangman. So some of you definitely could be attracting kind of like a divine counterpart. You know, these two are divine counterparts. I feel like the sky's the limit, or there are no limits really with the High Priestess. She represents unlimited potential. There's no roof over her head. She also sees the beginning, middle, and end of all situations. Her crown is these 3 stages of the moon. And I always say that, again, she sees the beginning, middle, and end, but it means that she creates it in her head. This whole entire reading, I've been talking about creation. I feel like you need to create things as you want them to be before they happen. So again, she imagines things in her life as she wants them to be. She pictures it in her head, and that's what I feel like you need to do here with the High Priestess. With the Hierophant, I feel like you could be learning a lot at this time. The Hierophant is a card of education and learning. He's kind of like teaching these initiates right here how to do something. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. So it can be a card of learning. I also feel like something is divinely guided or has been, you know, I get like this divine timing kind of divinely guided situation here. And you have the Hangman, so, you know, probably something you've been waiting for. I feel like you've earned your reward. Again, this one, she's giving the Hangman water, but I also feel in the After Tarot that technically he would finally be moving forward. So I get this feeling that you're kind of like finally moving forward here with this Hangman energy. Let's see what is going on for you. With the Hierophant, you have the 8 of Cups, walking away from things that no longer serve you. Again, he's walking towards fulfillment, and this is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it. So I feel around the time of the eclipse at the end of the month, you know, towards the end of the month, I should say, you could notice some big changes coming into your life. I do feel pretty big changes here. I don't think this is a bad thing. Personally, I like the 8 of Cups because, again, he is walking into darkness, but he's walking towards the 9 of Cups. He's walking towards fulfillment. With the High Priestess, you have the 8 of Wands. Here you go. Exactly what I was talking about. 8 of Wands, I was like saying at the beginning of the reading, you're waiting for communication. I feel like this is the communication. You're getting what you have been waiting for. It might not be communication. It might be approval for something. Maybe you're literally waiting for something to come in the mail or whatever. I feel like you are getting what you've been waiting for in general. Could be other things. Maybe you've been waiting for a raise or promotion. It's going to be different for all of you, but it's a pretty simple reading, as always, with you, Sagittarius. I feel, for the most part, you're getting what you've been waiting for. With the Hangman, you have the Hierophant again. I definitely kind of feel the Hierophant is connected. And I almost said Taurus. It's funny that I almost said that. So it could be a Taurus that's coming in for you. But I feel like the Hangman and the Hierophant are connected. And again, both cards technically are about education. Again, the Hangman, he hangs himself there to gain enlightenment. And I feel like here's the enlightenment that's coming in for you. You're finally finding some answers in your life that are setting you free or pushing you forward. Having said that, I just want to get like a little bit more, like, can we, I don't know, it's not immediately clear to me, Sagittarius, like what the outcome is here. Can we just get an outcome? Success, 6 of Wands, so some sort of success or recognition coming in for you here. Maybe you feel recognized as well, like if you've had difficulties in love. That the word recognition is popping into my head there. Maybe you've had difficulties in love, and maybe you finally meet a person where you feel like the universe has recognized what you've been through, but it could be anything else in your life. You have the King of Wands, again. So didn't you have this twice? Maybe not. Am I making that up? I guess I'm making that up, Sagittarius. But here you are. You show up in a very strong position. So again, being recognized. And you have the 4 of Pentacles, stability. I would be careful of this. I would be careful of 4 of Pentacles energy right now. I don't think the universe necessarily wants us to be, like, comfortable right now. And people say, how dare you say that we shouldn't be comfortable? I'm like, oh my God, I know. How dare I, right? How dare I want people to grow and make their lives better? But what I would say is, you know, if you're falling into comfort zones, I would try to do something to grow. This could be any area of your life. I'm going to pull 3 cards now for one question, so feel free to think of a question. I'm going to answer it as if I know what it is. 1, 2, 3, right here. I'm going to answer it with all 3 cards, so pause the video now because I'm about to read the card. So pause it now, you have the World, the Tower, and the Star. Are you kidding me? A lot of you could be healing from a Tower moment, so whatever you're asking about, I would say whatever you're asking about is probably complete. You completed a cycle, and now you're healing from, like, an ending. So for some of you, I feel like you're healing from it, and I feel like you're going to come back better than ever, so wouldn't really worry about it. I do feel like you're releasing something here, so I'm like, if you're asking about someone coming back from the past, I would say probably not, if I'm being honest. It is pretty weird that again, in these mid-monthly readings, pretty much everyone had the Tower again. So, like I said, to me, it's just a sign of the times. I've been saying this in every single reading. You're probably sick of hearing me saying, but again, it's crazy that every single freaking person gets the Tower, like, so much. And I changed decks like crazy. I mean, I literally posted a picture of my pile of decks the other day. So, it's like I change decks every reading. The cards aren't sticking. People always ask me. I'm using 4 decks now. So, I don't know. It's crazy to me that this keeps coming up. But clearly, I feel like we could be seeing some global Tower moments. But again, you're like healing from things very, very quickly. So, I like it here, Sag. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.